Hello everybody and welcome. In this video we will be discussing my personal favorite RuneLite plugins that I feel are almost essential for you to be using on your day-to-day RuneScape experience. If you're using the HD OS client, I don't think all these plugins will translate properly based on the plugin system being slightly different. I don't know what they do and don't have, but if you have RuneLite, I feel like if you don't use these plugins, you are missing out on some seriously good quality of life content. So I won't beat around the bush too much. We have plenty of plugins here. I have some extra plugins at the end for those on the more creative side of things, for B-roll and screenshots and really good aesthetics if that's what you want for your client. But I have about 10 good plugins here. Number 6 and number 9 are my personal favorites. If you have any plugins that I've missed or anything that you feel like I should add to my client, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. I'd greatly appreciate that. And if any of these plugins either help your experience or you agree with some of these plugins being some of the top 10 plugins, don't be afraid to hit the like and subscribe button too. I'd greatly appreciate the support. We'll start off with a very basic, very obvious plugin. The first plugin is the GPU plugin. A quick rundown. GPU, if you turn it off, everything looks like dog shit. It runs off your CPU, so your computer gets a hell of a lot louder as well. The graphics card runs a lot smoother, especially if you're using other clients or other programs on your computer. Everything runs a lot better, and you'll find less performance issues with the GPU plugin on. You'll lose less frames and so on. So turn on GPU. I have the settings set to a 60 FPS target, draw distance 100. You don't really need anything more than that. I don't think draw distance can go above 100. I don't think it does anything if you do. So GPU plugin is an absolute necessary plugin in my opinion, along with the second plugin, which is also a very obvious one, the Quest Helper, which can be accessed if you click this plug in the top right corner and you type Quest Helper. You can install it. Only install plugins on the fucking RuneLite client hub. If someone messages you on Discord and says, hey, download this plugin and send you a link, it's a scam. You're gonna get fucking hacked. Alright, this is a warning that everyone needs to know about right now. Only use this section here to install plugins. Otherwise, you're going to get your shit jacked, okay? This is a warning. I'm not telling you again. If you get hacked by this sort of lure through Discord, someone sending you a link for a plugin, you fucking deserve it. This is the last message you're getting about it. So make sure you download Quest Helper plugin here by Zoinquiz. And then what this will do is pretty much all of the, put all the quests, mini quests, achievement diary, skill helpers in this little tab right here. If you need to start a quest, you just click it. It'll start up a blue arrow on the world map, and you just follow the map, follow the arrow right there. See that? Boom. Takes you straight there, and that's where you know where to start. Everything will be highlighted blue. It'll tell you what items you need, quest requirements, item requirements, skill requirements, recommended teleports, enemies you got to defeat, rewards, and a step-by-step process on how to do it. It's just like using the wiki for a quest guide, except you're cutting out the middleman, and it's all on one screen, one client. It's an excellent plugin. Now, plugin number 2 is anti-drag. Some people don't know so much about anti-drag. Basically what this does is it prevents dragging an item for a specified delay, which is cute. I have mine set to 15 at the moment. 15 is pretty good. You can go higher if you want. It depends how fast and accurate you are with your switches, but basically, have you ever tried like changing, like switching your gear and you find that you're just moving gear in your inventory rather than actually switching? That's because you don't have anti-drag. You're actually just dragging your gear. It can really like punish you late game, end game content. Like for example in the Inferno, if a wave starts and you're in your mage gear and you want to switch to your range gear or your more tank gear as soon as possible, you might want to have anti-drag on, otherwise you're going to end up just switching gear in your inventory if you click too quickly. So you want to have anti-drag. The bigger the number, the bigger the delay between switching and dragging. You don't really need a whole lot unless you're like really slow with your switches, then you can turn it up a little bit, but I think 15 is a pretty good benchmark. 25 seems to be what a lot of people start with, so give it a go, adjust it to your own preference, and you'll be sweet. It will improve your quality of life experience, especially when you start switching gear, including things like TOA, later on in your PVMing experience. Now, this is plugin number 4. This one is an accidental personal favorite of mine. I installed this one, forgot about it, but I keep getting asked about it on stream, which I do live right here 5 days a week at King Condor on YouTube, by the way, so make sure you come by and check it out. Don't be a dog. Subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss the live stream. Anyways, so the inventory grid, basically, if I grab an item in my inventory right now, excuse the clan bingo plugin. So what you'll see is this grid pop up here. Now this shows the dead clicks in the inventory. Basically, if I go here with the lobster, it doesn't move. And this can be a common problem that some people don't realize they're having until it's too late. Sometimes it's lag, sometimes you're just clicking the dead click in the inventory and nothing is moving when you want it to. This could be anywhere along the inventory that's not an actual block, so this can be good to just kind of give you a bit more of a reference point. I completely forgot I had it. I just thought it was normal until someone asked what the hell it was. It's been asked quite a few times now, so I thought I would show you inventory grid. can be good for those looking for a bit more guidance and accuracy in their inventory. You can turn it off when you get comfortable or leave it on. It doesn't really matter. I think it's actually really nice. It does show the dead click zones, especially if you're trying to equip things too. Like I'm spam clicking right now, hear that? And I'm not eating any lobsters. I know you, but you know, you go there and you are, you know, I'm not even clicking the lobster there. So inventory grid is actually not a bad little plugin to look into. It's pretty nice. I enjoy it personally. Definitely a good plugin to check out. Now, next one is called Banked Experience. This is a great plugin. This little tab here, Banked XP. Click that, boom. Look at all these skills up here, beautiful. Thieving, dead empty unless you got Sorcerer's Garden garbage. But let's use crafting as an example. Apparently I have 99 crafting banked without using my rubies and diamonds, which is awesome. But what this is showing me is how much XP I have in the bank, which is 13.5 million without any multipliers or anything. That's for leagues, I believe. And if I want to go to the next level, which is level 100, which is a virtual level, I need 840k XP. Now, anything red, I've actually made it not include. So there's 700k ruby XP here, but it's not included. If I include it, it goes up. Right now, I only need 116k, and I'm up to 14.2 mil. But I wasn't including these because of bolts. So this is a good way to just kind of indicate what it is. If I want to do amulets, amulets are going to be even more XP. These are going to be strong, of course, which is 4 XP each. Or if I want to do necklace, which is less than bracelets and less money. So I do bracelets because it's good for high arcing for money. So this is a good way to just kind of measure what skill you have. You've got fire making with your logs, which doesn't do Wintertide. You've got prayer. You can choose either blessed bone shards, or you can go with your altars and your outfits for your modifiers. You've got construction for planks or mahogany homes. This shows every single skill that is viable and bankable through crafting methods, and gives you the XP that you have and required. I know that I've got well over 99 cooking banked. I just need to go do it. I have 388k XP in manta rays. I have 1.4 million anglerfish. I've got that much XP in the bank for cooking that I am set for 99. Fletching, I've got 103 banked, and that's not including everything that I'm using for like birdhouses. I'm not going to fletch bows because I'm not a fucking maniac. Fletching's 99. Anyway, farming just shows my saplings in my bank. Everything else is in my vault. Hunter just does birdhouse runs. Got 120 fucking banked birdhouse. Broken fucking method. Broken skilling. Herblore. 99 is banked, which is huge for me. Now I know I just need to go farm secondaries, and I've got 99 Herblore, which is awesome. Great plugin, great way to just kind of gauge where you're sitting. This is good for Ironman and non-Ironman, so you know exactly what you're going to do or what you need to farm or what you need to buy in the Grand Exchange. Excellent plugin to help you see what you're needing for level 99 or any desired level that you need for a quest. Now, next is, this is my personal favorite, number 6. There's a big plugin here. It is called, let me find it on this list real quick, under Emote Clue Items. Alright, this is where we get serious, boys. I don't know what any of this shit means, I'll be honest with you. However, what it does give you is this plugin here, and this is basically telling you all of the, I'm going to go to a bank and show you, this is going to tell you all the items you need for your clue scroll emote clues. Anything green is stashed. It also shows you all of the stashes. It's built and filled if it's just a little white square, and if there's a construction sign over it, it still needs to be built, and it tells you what level clue scroll it requires. Now, if you look in the bank here, for example, you can see little tabs, yellow, green, purple, blue, red. These indicate what clue scroll these are required for. So if I got Mystic Pants as a drop on an Ironman, I would know that Mystic Row Bottoms are required for at least 1 medium and 1 elite. So I will keep those. I won't accidentally get rid of them and be like, shit, what do I need? Or if you're a main, you'll know not to sell it. You will need to stash it at some point until the stashes are filled. Then you can check them off. If you go play around with the set, for some reason there's a PayPal link, buy me a coffee, get absolutely fucked. Who the hell do you think you are? So you can like adjust your settings in here to be like, you know, which clue scrolls, once you've done them all, turn them off. Interface highlighting for bank and inventory. Deposit box, you can turn on for those if you want. Same for group storage if you wanted to for group Ironman. Syncing Watson board, whatever the fuck that means. This emote clue item is massive for clue scrolls, stashing, not selling items that you didn't mean to sell, or alking items you didn't mean to alk. That's why you know when you got to keep a hold of a H helmet, or you know you don't want to get rid of all your Dragon Battle Axes. You're going to need one for a clue scroll. So it's just good to have Dragon two-handers. They're not so easy to come by on an Ironman. Good to hold on to one at least. It doesn't indicate for me how many of them you need, unless you go over to the plugin over here and you scroll down, so you know you need 2 maples for mediums, and it will tell you which ones. But you do need to use the plugin for that. So we know we need 3 Dragon Battle Axes, but in the bank it doesn't tell us that. So we just need to you just need to cross-reference it a little bit. You need no more than 5 blue Dragonhide Van Braces. My god, that's the most needed item, and green D-Hide Chats, which I believe I've done all of them. Sweet, that's why it's green. I love it. So if you need to know multiples, it is in the plugin information, but otherwise, you see the mark next to the item, you want to hold on to that shit. So Emote clue items, very big plugin. Definitely grab that when you can. Next, login timer. This is a classic. This is one pretty much everyone uses. This is default with the client. One you should be using. Basically, log out timer, go to the settings, idle timeout, 25 minutes. That's the most you can make it. It won't go any higher. That means if I stand still right now and don't touch the client, my client will stay logged in for 25 minutes, and then it will log me out rather than the usual, I think it's 5 minutes or 2 minutes or some shit. It's not very long by default. If you're a hardcore Ironman, I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you're going to be in a safe zone. But if you're ever AFKing or you need to go somewhere quickly or do a job, or you want to sit there doing some really slow methods like making cannonballs with the 4 mod or doing your player in house agility course, you want to crank this puppy up to 25 minutes at least, so you can get some extra AFK time and chill. If you're cutting redwoods, for example, you'll get logged out before that redwood falls down. So AFK timer through login timer is very good at 25 minutes. Now, this one is a little bit spicy, number 8. This is destination tile through the tile indicators plugin. Now, personally, I think true tile indicator is for bitches and pussies. If you're using true tile indicator, you're a bad player. I said it, I'll say it again, I don't give a shit. True tile indicator for bad players. You don't need that shit, okay? No one cares about true tile. No one cares. If you want to know the science behind it, it's simple. When you're walking, you move 1 square at a time. When you're running, you move 2 squares at a time. Ready? Watch this. Boom. 2 squares, 2 squares, 2 squares, 2 squares. If I move 3 squares, 2 squares, 1 square. You don't need true tile indicator. I just fixed your problem for you. However, destination tile, on the other hand, I do like to use, especially when you're moving fast in endgame content. For example, Chambers of Xeric fighting Olm solo. It's very useful there. It could be very useful inside TOA as well. So, what destination tile does is if you click, it tells you which tile you clicked. Look at the floor. Can you see which tile's what? Sometimes you can't. If I click here, which is on the corner of 4 tiles, I wouldn't have known which one to go with. Now, here's another option. If I click over here to this shortcut here, well, I can't hit the shortcut, so let's try. If I click Azayach's door, it puts the tile in front of the door, so I know that I'm going to the door. If I click inside this room here where the door is shut, it'll put the tile just here outside, so I know where my destination is going to be. Now, that might not be super handy with like buildings and doors, who gives a shit, but when you're doing PVM, and let's say you've got a weapon that's, let's say you got a blowpipe on. Blowpipe is 6 tiles of range or some shit, right? And you're trying to shoot something from 9 tiles away, like a shaman, a lizardman shaman. It will drag you, it'll put a tile on the indicated tile, so the designated tile that you will be running to start attacking the unit, which is very handy in places when you're trying to avoid poison, when you're trying to make sure you don't step into the wrong area in Olm, for example, so that you move to the correct side of Olm before he turns his head. Now, for plugin number 9, which I think is an essential plugin that you must absolutely have on your client, even if you don't go to the wilderness, you should absolutely have it, because there will be a time in your life where you do a hard clue scroll that requires you to go to the wilderness, where you end up like this guy, you get a taste for a PvP and you go, fuck it, let's get some keys, where you might want to go for the Void Waker or the Rev case, or if you've got giant balls and you come by to the Mass Monday Callistos that we do every fucking Monday, where we roam the wilderness and we keep the cave nice and safe, where we make a fuck ton of money, hundreds of people in the cave, everyone makes about 2 or 3 mil, it's easy, it's beautiful. The one plugin you must have is called Wilderness Lines. This one right here, it shows wilderness multi-combat areas, the Dragon Spear range to those areas, and level 20-30 lines. So what this does, basically, yeah, you should probably have spear lines on, that's not a bad idea. But level 20 lines I don't have on because I'm not garbage. So what you're going to need to do is, let's teleport to Crab Teleport. That's a great spot, actually. So this is what it does in the wilderness, okay? Nothing valuable on me, no. Alright, so out here, you will see a red line and a yellow line. So if this yellow line indicates, if you, oh, I'm a high risk world, fuck me. If you're on the yellow line here, if you're here, you can get speared into multi by a team. So be very careful of the yellow line. Personally, I actually can turn that off, because my advice is to not go near the red line. Okay, the red line, this indicates multi-combat, single combat. For those that don't know a whole lot about the wilderness, if you're in single combat, only one person can target you. If you're in multi-combat, many targets can target you, even if they're in single combat. If they are over this line, but you're in multi, they can fuck you up. All of them can hit you, but you can only hit one. My advice is to not go anywhere near the multi line if there is a party like camping on the other side of the line, vice versa, because you'll either get speared into multi or you'll get fucked while in multi. So if you're in multi by yourself and there's a team here, run the other way. Now, if there is a team in multi and you're over here, do not go anywhere near this line. This line, you'll get speared in and you're dead. So that's one thing to note. And the other thing is the blue line here. This tells you when you can teleport level 30. Level 20 is whatever, level 30, you should have a level 30 teleport, your seed pod or your glory or whatever. Once you're here, you can now teleport. Above here, you can't. This is also good for when you're trying to kill someone, you know that they can teleport once they cross this line, provided you haven't teleblocked them. So these are very handy lines for survival, for identifying where you are, what the danger zones are. When we do mass content on Mondays with our mass Callisto Bears, a lot of players do this thing where they kind of just expose themselves as 40 IQ individuals. They're not very intelligent players. They do it all the time. Teens will camp over here because they're too scared. Like, we outnumber the fuck out of teens. Big clans come by. They get absolutely blasted off the map. We've yet to be cleared by a clan in multi. Here we go. There's a boy here who's probably going to come kill me. But the players will, like, hang around over here and then, like, try to fuck around and attack players, get frozen here, and then just get bombed. In my opinion, you want to be at least this cave away from the line. Now, you might not be near the cave for an indicator, but just assume 10 tiles. 10 tiles from the line, you'll never get hit. Why didn't that guy kill me? He must have thought I was a scout, maybe. Anyways, this is a very good plugin, one you should absolutely have. If you don't even go to the wilderness, still download it, because there will be an off chance that you need to go there. You major in a 2K, for example. It's handy to just run straight to singles to get away from big teams. You'll know which way. Like, a lot of the time, this is a good example. A lot of the time when you're being chased by a team. I've been in a team chasing one person, and they will literally, I'll act as the one person being chased. Say the team's chasing me down here. Instead of running fucking 6 tiles out to the left here, they'll just run like this. And then they'll run this way. Because they're worried about getting south. They're not worried about getting out of multi. They don't know where the multi lines are. So instead of running to singles over there, they're just running south. But if you were getting chased, you now know that you should probably make your way over here a little bit. You know, even if you go on a little bit of an angle, so you're still heading down a little bit, but you want to be getting out into singles so that the amount of people that can hit you drops from an infinite amount to 1, which is big. And then, even better, you can run to your dragons here, for example. If a dragon attacks you, then a player can't hit you because you're in single combat. That gives you time to run and keep moving. It will stall them a little bit if they're dumb enough to try and attack you while the dragon's on you, and you'll be sweet. So make sure you hold on to this plugin. This is a big one, great for surviving, great way to just kind of get the fuck out of dodge if you need to. Good indicators, wilderness, multi-lines, or wilderness lines, absolutely required plugin. The final plugin I have for you guys today in the base plugins, before we go into the special ones at the end, the honorable mentions, is called Player Indicators, which is quite a good one. Honestly, very simple. It's good again for the wilderness, but it's not really anything over the top. It's a base plugin that comes with. You can turn on and off what you want. So basically, if I enable mine, it tells my name over the head, Sastagen. You can change the colors to do, highlight who's who. But the big one you want to look at is PvP. So when you're in the wilderness, highlight others. You can go enable and highlight everyone, but I think you should change that to just PvP. That way, when you're in the wilderness, or you're on a PvP world, or you're in any zone that does PvP, you may have noticed that guy with the keys earlier in the video. He had a name above his head. It puts their name above their head. That way, when people are hiding as rocks, if they're pulling an Eliop and they're trying to skull trick people outside of the lava dragon maze on the way to KBD and act like they're actually good at PKing, it puts a name above their head. You can see it's a player trying to hide instantly. People fucking around with those sort of things, coins, pretending to be third age rings. You can see their name. You know they're there. You can prevent a lot of scams by just having highlight others, PvP, have it in fucking red so you can see it, and you're good. You can have clan members, team members, friends chat members, friends, party members, and then you can do your own if you want to as well. But I think the big one is highlight others, PvP, make it fucking red. You see red, someone's going to be dead. Just keep that in mind. You'll be sweet. That is my personal preference for player indicators. That is the 10, in my opinion, most essential plugins I think you should have on your RuneLite client. If you want to go more, that's great. And if there's any other plugins you think I've missed, put them down below. I'd love to see them. But I have 5 other plugins now I want to share with you quickly. This is more for a content creator perspective and what advantages it can give you. Number 1 is Detached Camera. Basically, you turn this one on, and then you WASD, and you can move around the map. Now, it only shows what's been rendered, and it won't show NPCs or players or anything that is outside of your render vision. So you can't cheat with it, right? Which is fair, because that would be really bad for PvP. So you can see players here. It keeps the camera and vicinity around your player, but if you need to get a certain angle of a building for a photo, or if you need to get, like, I don't know, that's mostly it, to be honest, a screenshot, or you want to get some B-roll of yourself moving. I think you can slow the speed down even, or you can just slow it down in your editing software. You can absolutely do that. See how that guy's shown up because he's near my character, but no one's at the Grand Exchange because my character's not at the Grand Exchange. So Detached Camera, very good for just getting around the place and having a look at everything. You can also turn it on and like if I move around, I can bring my character with me, see how my character's coming, and it will render more shit as I come to it. But you won't be able to like interact with anything. You can't use the bank or anything like that. So just don't keep it on because you'll end up fucking yourself in combat. Plugin number 2, Entity Hider. Very good for hiding shit. Where's Entity Hider? Right here. If I turn that on, nothing happens because I've got it set to friends chat members, which is good for masses in PvP. But if I go hide NPCs or hide thralls, if thralls are getting in the way, hide random events if you're not interested in them, hide ignores. People are trolling you, hide local players. You can do that. Everyone disappears, except, oh, locals me, sorry, others. There you go. So 2D, hiding 2D is like hiding your prayers and stuff, overheads. Anything that's not 3D. So if you want to keep that shit on, you can. Entity Hider is very good again for like screenshotting, B-roll, hiding certain players but keeping NPCs there if you're trying to get a nice screenshot of an NPC attacking but not hitting anyone or something like that. Entity Hider, very, very good. I'm going to put it back on for a friend's chat for the mass later on tonight. Next, we have the 117HD plugin. Now, I didn't mention this earlier when I used the GPU plugin, but I personally do not like 117HD. I think it performs terribly. I think it's actually really badly optimized, and I think it's shit. But everything does look a little better. It is nicer. It is cleaner. It is good for screenshots. The shaders are better. The contrast is better. I mean, that's all it really is, right? Just a bit of tone, bit of shaders, and shadowing. That's it. But it does look way better for screenshotting. So if you want to get nice B-roll screenshots, animations, I do think that 117 is a plugin to have for that aspect. But for playing the game personally, GPU just performs so much better. It doesn't look a whole lot different. I think it's just more a lighting thing than anything. But I think GPU is the better performer until we get the new HD client from Jagex, which should hopefully perform at a GPU level with HD. I'll stick to GPU unless I'm doing screenshots. Ping grapher is good. This is this bad boy here. This is basically, because I live in the bush, I cope a lot with my internet. It's very good for just letting me know what my ping is like. It tells you the world ping or your latest ping if you've got shit internet, or if you're looking for excuses other than skill. Ping grapher is excellent. And then finally, the obvious one is menu entry swapper, which basically, you know, left click talk to banker, fuck that. Turn on menu entry swapper, switch your settings the best way you can, and it's left click bank. Now, a big one you should have is under UI settings, and you should have bank, deposit, shift, eat, wield, etc. What this means is if I've got the bank open, if I hold down the shift key, it now says eat lobster. Let go of shift, deposit, hold shift, eat, and you can eat while banking. You can drink potions, you can equip gear, left click wear, close the bank, I'm wearing my fucking helmet, look at that. So, menu entry swapper, turn this one, bank, deposit, shift, to eat, wield, etc., and you will be sweet. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my personal preferred and, in my opinion, the best plugins to have on RuneLite. Let me know what you think. Leave your favorite ones down below in the comment section. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the live stream tonight. Have a good night. Suck a dick. Thank you very much. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy.